Welcome to the Build a Purposeful, Profitable Business Doing What You Absolutely Love podcast, hosted weekly by Ange, your business fairy godmother, professional copywriter, published author and business owner of 20 years. In every episode, Ange will deliver useful bite-sized insights to help you find your voice, position your value, demystify the marketing tech, and run your business on your terms.
Welcome to episode 1. I'm just so excited to begin this podcast because this is episode 1. Obviously, this is the very first time we're doing this. So as your business fairy godmother, Ange, I welcome you to this first episode, our inaugural episode. And I just want to take the time in this episode just to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about my story, and my expertise, and you can see where I'm coming from and what happened along my journey to bring me here to be able to do this podcast and to be able to share my knowledge with you around branding and marketing your business as a coach, an author, or a service provider. I've done all of those in the past, and I've gone through a journey of learning in how to set up a brand, how to market the business, all the tech that you need, which can be an absolute nightmare. And I've discovered along my journey, as I spoke to a lot of business owners, that the tech was, all of it, they need all of it, but the tech was the thing that usually would stop people. They could have a bash at the marketing, they could have a go at putting things out on Facebook, they could do some ads, they could get a design and a brand together and have a cohesive message, but a lot of them got stuck on the tech. And I did too, and that's kind of part of my story. So if I just backtrack and I just tell you a little bit about how I got started in business. Basically, I grew up in the UK, and when I was, how old was I? I was about 26. I came to Singapore, and I started to teach English here as a foreign language, and I did that for about 10 to 12 years, and I loved it. I absolutely loved teaching, and I loved the people that I was teaching, and it was just a great time in my life. But as I was teaching, I got into the writing part of it, and I became a copywriter eventually. And that happened because I was involved in writing the materials that I was teaching in one of the schools I was teaching in. And I realized that I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that creation process. And at that time in Singapore, there weren't really that many writers for hire. There were a few freelancers, but really it wasn't a very common business. So I recognized the opportunity there, and I set up my own business offering copywriting services. And I kind of learnt that as I went along. I had to do quite a bit of study to get up to speed on what copywriting was. I knew I could write, but copywriting is a completely different thing. But over time, I got to understand that, and I got to be able to offer my services as a copywriter. And then over time, as Google came on, because we're talking here before the dawn of the internet, right? But then as Google came about, businesses finally started to realize that in order to be found online, they needed good content. Then we became very much in demand. My agency became very much in demand for writing blogs and articles that businesses could put online to have a stronger SEO, a stronger web presence, and establish themselves as an authority in their field. So that's still what we do, and it's still very popular. But as I started to speak to smaller business owners, because in my agency, most of my customers were larger businesses or multinational companies or government agencies. So with smaller businesses, they really didn't have the budget to be able to afford our services on the prices that we were charging the multinational companies. And So I really began, as I began networking with small business owners and understanding what their pain points were and what their struggles were, I realized that actually it's the small business owners that really need the help. They don't have the team that a multinational would have in-house. They don't have the strategy already built out. They usually would have set up their business because they're an expert in what they do. So they set up a business around that expertise. But they're not an expert at marketing. They're not an expert at branding. And even if they have some of that knowledge, generally when it's your business, you kind of get blinkered as well. So even if you understand what you should be doing, and this was me, right? I understood the theory. I knew what I should be doing. But because I was so close to it, because it was my business, because it was me, and I'm talking about doing my personal brand, you become a kind of blinkered, or you kind of need a third-party insight into who you are, what your brand stands for. You can do a lot of that work yourself, but you do need input from the outside. And so I started to recognize that with small business owners, that was their stumbling block, was they couldn't see the wood for the trees, if you like, because they were too close to it and they were too emotionally invested in the business as well. And then, of course, the tech. There were so many tech tools out there. And what I did because I got so frustrated myself with being held to ransom in a way as a small business owner myself, not being able to market my own business because I didn't understand what tech tools I needed. I didn't understand how to get out there. I could see people out there making a killing online, setting up businesses, selling online, and really earning almost passive income. I mean, you have to do some work to maintain it, but basically because they had products that they were selling rather than just services, which was what I was doing all my life. I was just selling services. So that's like kind of trading time for money. And even though I had a team, I'm still having to monitor that and monitor the quality control and things like that. So it's still trading time for money. Whereas when you have a product, and every entrepreneur, I think, really understands this, that if you have a product, that's where you make the money, because it's duplicatable. You manufacture the product, and then you can just sell as long as there's demand for it, and you don't do anything else. So that's the same with educational content, and that's where I started to focus on wanting to be able to teach small business owners how to do this themselves. But I needed to understand the tech around that myself. And I could see people online teaching other people to do things online, and I wanted to do that as well. So I went on a learning journey, and I tried every tech tool there was out there, really. I tried everything. And I realized what apps worked well together and which didn't, which were more expensive, and really to put it all together. It all came to a head at one time when we were in the office and we were trying to put a funnel together, and we had all these different apps that we had to connect. And then we decided we wanted a countdown timer, and there wasn't a countdown timer on any of the apps that we had, and we had to install a countdown timer app and try and integrate that into the tech tools we were using in this funnel. And at the end of that, I was like, okay, I've had enough. This is just crazy. This is taking far too long. There has got to be a simpler way. And I'm all about things being easy and simple. I just want to find the easiest way to do things. So I went on this exploration journey, and as I said, I tried all these different tech tools to see what would work. And I found one that I use now, that really, for if you're running a service business, a coaching business, you're an author, or you're wanting to sell courses online, Simplero is an excellent platform for you to be able to do that, because everything is integrated into that one platform. You don't have to go anywhere else for anything. So I just love the simplicity of that, and I love the ease of being able to connect everything together. So with that, then I was able then to provide a solution to business owners where I could say, okay, look, just make it simple, just do this, just work on this one tool, and you've got everything there and you can build it yourself. I can teach you how to use it, and it's really easy to use. It's a drag and drop facility. And then I could then teach the business owners all the knowledge that I have around how are they going to build their brand, what message are they going to put out there, how are they going to keep that message consistent, how are they going to do the visual aspects of their brand to be visually consistent, how are they going to build an audience, how are they going to drive traffic to their offers, how are they going to create their offers and put it out there so that they have value and they're perceived as having value, and they can command more high ticket prices for their services or for their knowledge, basically. Because basically when you're teaching somebody knowledge, you're teaching the man to fish, basically, instead of giving them the fish. So with that knowledge, they can use that knowledge for the rest of their lives. So it's a valuable asset to be able to transfer to other people. So it has value, and my customers need to be able to put their offers out there to show that value and communicate that value so they're paid the price they should be paid for it. So that's really where I'm coming from, and that's the business that I've set up online as the business fairy godmother, helping small business owners to go through the process of, if they're just starting out, setting up the business, setting up the brand, getting their correct message ready, keeping it consistent, and sorting out what offers they need, and helping them with the tech tools to be able to deliver their knowledge to their services and all the products to their audience. So that's really me. So as I said, it's been a journey. It's over 20 years that I set up the agency, and it's just in the last few years I've been focusing on the small businesses with the online course training business as well. In between doing all of that, I've raised two brilliant children. They're now in their early 20s, and they're still at university, both of them. So really that's who I am. That's what I do. I still live in Singapore. I like to travel between the UK and Singapore. Can't do that at the moment because of the COVID-19 situation. We're all stuck indoors. Same with my children. They're not actually at uni at the moment because everything's shut down. So I'm taking this quiet time to actually just set up this blog. I thought I'd do something useful while I'm sitting here not doing an awful lot else. I haven't seen my office for 2 months. So that's where we are with the situation with COVID. Hopefully we're coming towards the end of it. But yeah, so I just wanted to set up this blog and be able to put my knowledge out there, help small business owners. So I hope that you come back and you join me again for episode 2 and beyond. What I aim to do is put out just short bite-sized pieces, really, that will help you to be able to improve your business in small bite-sized chunks in whatever way I share the information. It's something hopefully will just gel with you and you'll be able to implement it in your business. And I'll be bringing guests on as well, guests within the industry that can share some of their expert knowledge as well. That will give you some extra value through listening to this podcast. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And I look forward to doing episode 2 and welcoming you to listen to that too. So bye for now.